Good morning, this is Steve. Saturday morning, and it's a little past 6. Hoping to get out for at least a couple of miles this morning and get the day started. Pretty warm. I see that Nate Wagner got out there for a little bit, intending to do more and then cut back. Sun is just about to come up over the Q-Mart, and I'm sitting on my front porch with a strong cup of coffee and a little reading to do first before I get going. So, catch up with you in a bit. Okay, well, coffee's done. Whew, boy, that was strong. And it's kind of thick out here. Let's see if I do this right. Susan might like my map. Alright, getting underway here. The sun's up nicely, bright. Beautiful sunrise. A few clouds in the sky. And we had some rain yesterday. Another 10th. So not a lot. Came down all at once, of course. I really haven't been paying that close of attention to the news. It's really getting pummeled somewhere. Thought I heard a report yesterday saying somewhere got 13 inches of rain and is expecting another 5 to 8. Whew. I don't know who of us can imagine that, or if that's affecting anybody that we know. But wow, it's a lot of water. Good morning. Are you Kim?
Yeah.
I met you at the McCarthy's.
Yeah.
I thought I saw you one morning, so.
Probably.
Yes. Good to see you. All right, just as I suspected, she's all red-faced, so she's just finishing up her outing this morning. I think I might have mentioned her once before. And across the street neighbor too. Close friends. Not close friends, but good friends. I forgot to turn on my timer. So best do that. That's right, I was going to try a 4-minute run today. Well, I know where it usually beeps at me. So let's see if we can adjust. And we'll get back to you a little bit later on in the run. So I had some things on my mind to catch up on, and we'll see about doing that later. All right, we're in the quiet of it right now. After the second set of 4 minutes. And see, chasing rabbits away, birds. Just walking down Park Avenue. Going to effect a little dip here. Susan on the Extra Mile podcast group. She just commented on the shape of my runs. She says, "Isn't it interesting how his runs seem to be in the shape of a heart?" And, well, they're not always. But she interpreted one that was kind of funny. It's pear-shaped at the bottom, but anyway, she thought, but not at the top. She thought it was still heart-shaped. So this one's for Susan out there. We'll make it a true heart shape. Best we can. So, today's Katie's wedding day. How old is she? 28 or 29? So, yeah, she's been longing for this for a good long time. I remember when she was 25. And, like, where's Mr. Man of my dreams? So I hope that Michael is the man of her dreams. So Katie is quiet, but not necessarily shy. She is an English major. I think she even has her master's. And then she taught last year out in Texas, I believe English and maybe another subject, but she also likes to write poetry, and I'm not always appreciative of her writing, but sometimes I guess that would be true of anybody's efforts. So she has either WordPress or Blogspot place called Like Shook Foil. Like you shook a piece of foil. I'm sure it refers to something, maybe in a poem. And that's where she occasionally posts. So Thursday night at her rehearsal dinner, I asked if she had written any poetry. For the occasion of her own wedding, her sister's wedding, or her sister's second sister departure for college. She said, no, she hasn't written any poetry for a while. But maybe I should. So, she was really interesting to watch at Megan's wedding last week. I think it was, what I was seeing was emotions trying to be kept in control. Because you'd see a smile, a straight face, another smile, but all trying to be kept under control. I have another approaching runner. Don't have my glasses on, so I'm going to say female. Good morning.
Hey, Steve.
Hey, how do you? Pete, right? Is that Pete in the sunglasses?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't have my glasses on, so.
Yeah. I didn't recognize you with the hat.
Yeah, well, yes, incognito.
Good to see you out.
Yeah, good to see you. Okay, definitely not female. It's Pete Nicholson. Been going to our church now for, I'd say, close to a year. Though he kind of grew up in the church, then was away. He was now back with his family. Pete and Allison. 2 boys, and then Allison's parents. I see Mrs. Vasta occasionally, and Dr. Vasta a little less occasionally, but still. So Pete there is a vice principal at one of the larger high schools in the area called North Penn. I'm not sure vice principal of what, since I know it's like working for Prudential, you have one president and umpteen million. It seems like vice presidents. You have a vice president over annuity sales, vice president over life insurance sales, etc., etc., etc. So, anyway, Pete's a good guy. His family's been real friendly. And even Allison's brother, Freddie, has been coming to church with his family. So, nice people to meet. So I was not there last Sunday as we were at Megan's wedding. So I will be there tomorrow, and I'm sure, hey, we'll ask more questions. So I don't know if Pete lives around here. He must. Somewhere. All right, walking along the high school on, what would this be, 4th or 5th Street? I'm wearing a White Sox hat, by the way, that he referenced. It's my black running hat. I either wear this running or I wear my Wally's Hogs. Waltz Deli. Wally's Deli? Waltz Deli. And I'm approaching, in my right hand, the house of the Jorgensens. Jorgensen's Bruce, who is a very giving individual. He's the one who organizes the wood splitting parties at my house. Loans me his wood splitter. Gave me a cord or two of wood the winter before last. There's a couple of grown sons, I think, living with him right now. One is Matt, and the other is Randy. Randy leads a group of young adults, and Matt has lived away from home. But right now is at home, not sure for how long. All right, well, the subject I was thinking about was sons. So here, I'm talking about somebody else's sons. So my 2 sons, Mitch, who's 25, and would love to be in a good relationship. He is discouraged, though. He is a very serious thinker. He's the kind of personality who is up when things go well and can be really down when things do not go well. And he's been okay, even though relationships haven't been working out. So he knows he recently, as he said the other day, broke a girl's heart. She really liked him, but he just didn't see that relationship going anywhere. And so he wonders if he's being too selfish. I mean, yes, a wedding relationship requires tons and tons of giving and giving up, but also receiving things for which you could never receive another way. So being so committed and dedicated to another brings both blessing and hardship, just the way it is. So Wayne, our 23-year-old, is very serious about a girl. As I've mentioned in the past, our dear Rebecca. And on our way, I think it was from the dinner the other night, Mitch said something about as he ages and continues in a work experience, you say one thing to mean one thing and then you get stuck defending it. He said that he's increasing his real estate value, meaning, he's gathering experiences, he's getting more settled, to offer someone at some time, someone who's more settled and more mature, having lived life a little more. Well, Wayne said, "What do you mean?" So Wayne, being a couple years younger, is like, I'm not all refined, am I deficient? And so there's a little sensitivity going on, as happens between brothers or siblings or family. There's a little too much sensitivity. So Wayne was feeling like, hey, how come, sometimes when I talk to Mitch, I love our talks, and other times I hate our talks. Because I feel undervalued, like he doesn't value my opinion, he doesn't seem to value who I am. And I said, well, I think there's kind of a competition at times going on that only involves the participation of one. And I would say, when Wayne was small, Mitchell really got into football, following football, playing certain games, and Wayne just was never really interested in sports. Mitchell kind of wanted him to be, wanted to compete with Wayne, but Wayne was his own person. He was like, that's right. So I think Mitchell has longed for that kind of relationship where brothers can compete, of course, in a healthy manner that allows them to win and lose and take it. I'm not sure any of us at the time would say we want to take it, we all want to win. Except me, maybe when I was younger, I didn't care if I won or lost. I really didn't factor too much on winning. So then when I did, you get a taste of that and you go, hey, I like winning. But I've learned to be okay with losing. So I think there's that there's some sort of competition. And I doubt that Mitchell would agree. Usually when I assess things, he doesn't agree with my assessments. Thinks I'm just way out there. And the other part of that is Wayne's got a girl who, first girl he ever dated, and they're serious. And it looks like a lifelong commitment is in the future. And so I think there's a little envy. And we had those conversations before where Mitchell would say, hey, why are you okay in this situation? Why are you not okay with this situation? And so we talk about contentment and what drives me. Now I'm of the temperament that is, say, laissez-faire. I'm easygoing. But I've learned, though easygoing, determined. Otherwise, I wouldn't be out here on the road, running and talking to you all. About, not quite 2/3 of the way accomplished here. So those are the boys. Wayne is much more like me in many respects. One, I think he's usually easygoing, though like me, he can get annoyed at things you shouldn't get annoyed with and should just easily overlook. And I think, like me, he is not the greatest storyteller. So as you may have noticed in my talkings, I do not always stay on just one subject. I easily get off on a trail, a rabbit trail, and never get back on the main trail. So you may at times wonder, hey, Steve was talking about this, it never resolved. Guilty as charged. So he has that too. Not the smoothest of storytellers. That's from Margie's side of the family. The good storytelling. So Margie, if you missed 30 seconds because you had to go do something in the kitchen and you come back and you say, what happened in something video you're watching? She'll give you 5 minutes of explanation. It's like, how can all of that happen in 30 seconds? Because she usually wants to give you the backstory, stuff you already know, and give it all a good, thorough explanation. I admire the amount of detail she remembers. For me, it's like, oh, that guy got killed. Less than 2 seconds, and I'm done telling my story. But Mitchell also has the powers, I should say, of telling a story. And Anna too. She is well-spoken. Though, in the middle of nervousness, everybody falters. But anyway, I think Margie, Mitchell, and Anna all have the gift of detail and storytelling. And Wayne and I don't. That's just the way it is. One thing I would like to cure both boys of is the word like. Oh boy. Come on, Wayne. You're teaching. Conscientiously think. Avoid the word like. Like. Avoid it. So you're a college grad and teaching, so hey. That would be my encouragement. Just for a number of reasons. One, professionally. Two, adultly. There's a normism, adultly. Adultification. Adultness. Oh, I love it when people tack on ness to a noun to make it a noun. Like sincerityness. Actually, I don't love that. Not that we can't all slip in our use of the English language, but yeah, we hear that. plentifully. We hear plentifully that kind of thing. There we go. Yesterday I finished reading the book Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. I heartily recommend reading that. I would not put it in the category of a horror story, though there are elements, and if you're making a movie, you could certainly exaggerate them. Sudden cars out of nowhere. I would say mostly it's a tragedy. Kind of along the lines of Othello, you kind of see things that are happening and you're going, come on, wake up. Certainly you can see what's going on. And then of course he doesn't. But very well told story. Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. So, Anna read that this summer for one of her summer reading assignments for AP something. The boys had both read it, and Margie says, do I have a hard copy? Because I read it on my Kindle. And Mitchell remembers purchasing a hard copy, and Wayne produced it. So she felt like, gosh, everybody thinks this is a good book. So she will intend to read that. That's kind of cool. Little family book club. Well, I didn't mean to be talking so long, so we'll make this probably a standalone podcast. So you're going to see a flurry of activity from me. So I'm heading up to the circle as we speak. Not in the biggest incline yet. So I'll probably come about halfway through my walk to start running again. And then we'll be on the very gradual incline toward home. So, anyway, there's my book recommendation for you. Frankenstein, or The Modern Prometheus is the subtitle. Not as familiar with Prometheus. Remember seeing a movie by that title. Don't remember the details. Couldn't tell you what Prometheus means. It's Greek, could tell you that. That's about it. All right, well, so today's wedding, it's supposed to be 95. It's an outdoor wedding, like last week. It is much, much more humid than last week. Even the reception is supposed to be under a tent, and we are hoping it is an enclosed tent with air conditioning. Otherwise, by the end of today, will have all consumed and sweated the water that Arboretum affords, and will be ragged, wet messes. Oh, there we go. First thing on tap this morning is Wayne purchased a desk. It is far from quality, but in good shape. So it's one of those particle boards with veneer. And we need to leave for the wedding earlier. So by 9, the wedding's not till 11:30. But we'll leave at 9 with the desk in tow to get up to his apartment. We tried to fit the silly thing in his car. Well, we tried. We really tried. And we kind of got stuck. I thought, how's he going to get it out if we get it in? Of course, what you get in, of course, you can get out. Not necessarily like toothpaste. Once you get out, you can't put back in. But it felt like that. Back on noisy Station Road. Folks heading to the Q Mart. So we got about as far as we could without too much damage on either the furniture itself or the furniture in his car. Oh, my apologies. All of this traffic suddenly so quiet half an hour ago. So we'll deliver that, Margie said, but we will be in nice clothes and got to carry that up the stairs. That's not super heavy. It should go up easily, though. With the heat and humidity, yeah, well, our options are few. So that's just what we're going to do. Peaceful, except for the cicadas. So, I'll wrap things up here for Steve. I did get a listen to Kevin recently, to Norm, on his paring and peeling or something like that. Jim's I Was Just Thinking about his training. Formal training, a third runner heading toward me. This one I can tell is male, has a big stride, but moving along pretty well. Good morning. A very slow turnover, but big stride. Looks like he's got the muscles to handle it, but in the long term, I'd still say, shorten your stride, brother. He's also running on the side of the road that I am, which is not a bicycle or a car, so I'd say, hey, it's safer on the other side. Of course, I'm crossing over to the other side. It's because of the sidewalk over there. Try to distance myself a little bit from the cars. So if it stays, I was going to say, if it stays cloudy, maybe the heat won't be unbearable, but to the west I see just blue skies. And to the east I see some blue skies interspersed with gray skies. So what would be great is if we had gray skies until the Father gives the bride away, and then out come the sunshine and rainbows. It is at an arboretum, so I'm hoping that there's an overhead canopy. Though having a wedding at 11:30, the sun is going to be nearly straight up enough. All right, we are stepping the old running trackers. Interesting, they're quite different from each other. Matt My Run says a 12:22 pace. Strava says 12:36 pace, which that's the app I started first, so that kind of makes sense. It's going to be a little longer. And Runkeeper says 12:42. Okay, I thought it was saying 11 something. Maybe that was the pace I was running before I stopped. So it's 7:22. Got an hour and a half to cool down, put something in my belly, shave, shower, put on my new suit, and then leave for Wayne's apartment with said desk. Well, I hope everybody has a safe weekend. Carlos might like to know that since we're at an arboretum, I looked at a picture of Awbury, A-W-B-U-R-Y, Arboretum. It looks like there's a nice old stone building there. So I think that part of town is not far from Villanova University. And that part of town is referred to as the main line. And there are a lot of these big, huge stone mansion-type houses. So I'll try to get a good shot today for the Friends of the Speaker. Friends who like the Speaker. I forget what the name of it is. Anyway, the Friends of the Speaker podcast. And speaking of podcasts, see how easily I trail from one thing to another. Need to start listening to Chris Russell's podcast since he has now joined the group. I mean, not that I'm holding it against him, but just refreshes my mind that he has a podcast out there that can probably be of benefit in one way or another. All right, well, just enjoying a little cool down loop. So with that, I wish you all, again, good health this weekend, safety in the heat, and enjoying your families, and especially for Jim, who now has his weekends off, I think, to spend with his wife. I don't know if he has children, so maybe grown and out of the house. He's probably referred to it, but I details. Anyway, good to see other runners out this morning on the same road that I was on. 3, 4 maybe. That's great. Instead of a track, a known loop or a rail trail, where you're bound to see people. So it's a little nicer. So the sound of cicadas in my background, I will bid you all farewell, and I'll talk again soon. Bye now.